Hi, welcome everyone to this Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 workshop agenda meeting of the Oyster Bay East Norwich Central School District. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and can everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Yanni for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Ms. Kowalski, and good evening, everybody. This week is National School Counseling Week, which is our time to celebrate the unique work of our school counselors day in and day out. I could not be more proud and grateful to have this outstanding group of women who work so hard to empower all our students to achieve excellence. So please join me this week in sharing heartfelt gratitude for the work that all our counselors are doing every day to support our students. We have Dr. Joyanne Danka, our supervisor, which is here with us, Lisa Lowe of Vernon, Deanna Kelly, Kayla Collins, Danielle Ortiel, and Rebecca Lieberman at the high school. Thank you for all that you do. I'm also very excited to announce that Victoria Wink has been named the 2024-2025 Secondary Physical Education Teacher of the Year. Since joining our district in 2017, Ms. Wink has consistently gone above and beyond as an exceptional educator and a true inspiration to our colleagues and students. Our innovative teaching methods, such as integrating virtual reality in our exercise science course, exemplify our dedication to provide dynamic and engaging learning experiences to all the students. In addition to her teaching responsibility, she has been doing a wonderful job as the Dean of Students, working as an advisor in different multiple clubs, coaching varsity softball, and truly being there for the kids day in and day out. So congratulations, Victoria, on the wonderful job. One of my favorite nights of the year is when the parents come together and work together with the students to get excited about mathematics. And this week was the excitement was about science. It was a second grade science night. I know Ms. Small was there. I want to thank Regina Diorio for coordinating this activity. Mr. Moy was there, and I also so Jennifer Caponia as curriculum associate for elementary school. Students were working together on different projects with their family members, and it was nice to see the excitement. And there were so many students, so really happy to see those kind of nights where the family and the community and the teachers come together to celebrate learning. So excellent. I am very pleased to give some good news about our robotics team. Both the high school and middle school Bay Butts robotics achieved significant success in the past weekend. The high school Bay Butts demonstrated impressive skills and teamwork, securing a 4th place and qualifying for the regional, which is on March 16th. So we wish them best of luck. And also the middle school robotics did an excellent job moving up on their ranking. So I want to thank Mr. Schlendorf, our coach for the high school, and Maria Zambudo, high school. And for the middle school, we had Justin Perlman and Sean Hoja, and obviously all the students who made this possible and worked so hard every day to prepare for this competition. So great job and congratulations. On the music end, we had 24 students who performed the All-County Music Festival, Long Island University in the Tiller Center. An incredible number for a small school like us. They did a wonderful job in band, orchestra, and chorus. And they really practiced so hard. It's so impressive to see them coming in the morning. And sometimes, even with the weather, they be there and they practice and they really want to be there. So congratulations to them. I am very pleased to announce this number because this number is truly a reflection of the wonderful work that the board has done over the past couple years. We built an extension, a beautiful extension at Theodore Roosevelt, and we are truly, I have to commit the board on this wonderful visionary work, because right now the pre-K registration, which is something that we put in place, we had 2 half-days, one morning half-day and 1 afternoon pre-K. We went last year to a full UPK, and this as of today, I'm very happy to report that we have a 68 number of students who are registered for UPK. This would not have been possible without the building that we have, without the space that we have, and it's a wonderful program. It went from 36 students, almost doubling, and that's due to the fact that the teachers are doing a wonderful job. Our principal is doing an amazing job, and the building looks so beautiful that everybody want to come to our program. So I want to thank you, the board, for believing in my idea and my proposal, for believing in me and believing in the fact that the building needed to expand and get out of a closet and create this beautiful room. So very happy to report that.
Thank you.
Construction update. Thank you. Construction update. We entering our last phase, which is phase 3. That would be the renovation of the athletic center at Vernon. Would be what used to be called the Butler Building is going to be called the Athletic Center. Renovation of the music rooms. We're going to have a beautiful new classrooms addition to our existing rooms, and also a storage facility for our ground crew. So the work will start next week. Ms. Raynor will provide an update as we move along, but we plan to complete the work before the end of the school year. And at this point, it gives me tremendous pleasure to invite to the podium my 2 amazing principals. I have 3 amazing principals, but tonight I have 2 presenting. Ms. Deborah Small, the principal of Roosevelt, and Ms. Anastasia Smith, the principal of Vernon.
Hello? There we go, sorry. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ayani, Central Administration, and the board for your continued support. We are going to be sharing with you how each school is fulfilling board goals this year, and we will be starting with student achievement. Before we start the show, we just want to also do a very special thank you to Mr. Morrow and Ms. Caponia for being an essential part of the elementary admin team here. So thank you. Ms. Small will be starting.
Across the past year, we have focused on ensuring that our staff is well-versed in the research into what is required in order for students to learn how to read, and that our curriculum and instruction are aligned with that research. This visual is a brief summary of some of the components involved in reading. On the bottom you have word, and in the cool colors you have word recognition, and that's the requirement that students be able to immediately decode and recognize words as they read, so that they are not slowed down at that part of the process, but can focus on the warm colored strands from the top, which is applying all they know in order to comprehend what they read. And going into that includes background knowledge, vocabulary, and understanding the structure of language. We really took a look at our curriculum and what we needed to keep the same in it and what we needed to change in it. And it was a wonderful process of working towards that. So in the spring of last year, we had a committee that consisted of teachers ranging from kindergarten through high school level. And we included not only classroom teachers, but also teachers of English as a new language, special education, and reading intervention. We came together as a committee. We studied the science. Then we created a rubric to compare our current practices to the science. We saw what we were doing really, really well and what were some areas where we had room for growth. Then we tried to think about how we would address those areas where we wanted growth. We had multiple vendors come to us who were from companies with renowned reading programs. We had them do presentations to us, and we compared their programs also to the science using the same rubrics we did against our current programs. Based on that review, we realized that anywhere we went, whether it was our current programs that we were using or other programs we might adapt, that we ran into the same thing. Each time we saw that there were certain areas of strength and certain areas of weakness. So we made the decision that we would build upon our current programs, but we would really hone in on the areas where our programs were not doing what we wanted them to do and were not perfectly aligned with the research, and we would improve those. Then we looked at organizations and chose Literacy Matters to come help us with professional development and curriculum writing in those areas. Then over the summer, we had another committee come together, and this committee was focused specifically from kindergarten through 5th grade. We had a classroom representative from each of those grades, as well as, again, teachers of English as a new language, special education, and reading intervention. What we did there is we took a look at what we're currently doing, and we did a month-by-month breakdown for each grade for Literacy Matters in terms of what was taught, in terms of what we felt was going well, and in terms of areas where we felt there were weaknesses in order to present that to Literacy Matters. And we created a vision of what we needed them to do for us. We also realized, as we were designing our chart, that we had a particular need to develop and structure a grammar curriculum. So we actually broke down the state standards for grammar, because they're actually designed, like for example, in the K through 2nd grade span, the state really just gives this is what you need to do by the end of 2nd grade. So we worked together as a K-5 group, and we broke it down grade by grade what would be taught in grammar, and we also presented that to Literacy Matters for their help in helping us. Another thing that we did as we prepared to plan for change is, and I thank the board for this, the creation of a new position of the elementary curriculum associate. And I have to say that Jennifer Caponia has been really instrumental in moving our curriculum forward in all areas, communicating to make sure that the schools work smoothly together, including that we have a smooth transition to the high school in her work in coordination with Dan Moy in the parallel position at the high school. And Jen has been a point person in working with Literacy Matters. This is our vision for how our work with Literacy Matters will unfold across the years. We wanted each grade level to have 4 new integrated thematic units that together would cover all of the standards for the grade level and all the necessary components of literacy instruction. So this year we began with the first 2 units each for grades K and 1. Next year we're planning to develop 2 more units for K and 1 and 2 units for grades 2 and 3. In 26-27 to develop 2 units each for grades 2 and 3, and then to begin 4 and 5 with 2 units, and then in 27-28 to finish the last 2 units for grades 4 and 5. It was also important to us, though, that we not leave any of our grades behind, because as we start with K and 1, we wanted every grade to have access to professional development and the best of reading practices. So we have built in also support each year for the other grades, and in this year the other grades are focusing on the best practices in small group instruction. The design of each new unit is that it will be a thematic unit integrating social studies or science with all the core literacy skills. And it will run in conjunction with our existing programs. As you know, as I spoke last year, I spoke about how we've built up our phonemic awareness program by bringing in the Hegarty Phonemic Awareness Program last year. And we have a solid phonics program with Foundations, which this year is expanding to 3rd grade. And we work to make sure our students have plenty of decodable text to read where they can apply that phonics knowledge that they are gaining. But where we needed Literacy Matters to help us is we really wanted to work on building content knowledge and explicit vocabulary instruction and explicit grammar instruction, and they are helping us to really strengthen those components so that our literacy instruction overall includes all scientifically supported components of literacy. I want to give you just a glance at a couple of the units so you can see what they're like. So I've pulled one from kindergarten that we did already and one from first grade that we're doing now. Now, of course, our unit is many pages long, so I'm just showing some highlights from it. So, for example, in the months of November and December, our kindergartners were learning about weather and seasons in this unit. And they learned a lot of vocabulary related to that. Some examples of words are thermometer, precipitate and precipitation, hibernate and hibernation. And notice also what they're learning, right, about the types of words and how words interrelate. And then they're also learning words such as comparative adjectives, warm, warmer, warmest, etc. In grammar, the students learned where you use a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. They learned to capitalize I and the first word in a sentence, and they learned about plural nouns. Just a few examples of some of what a teaching lesson or teaching point might be are I highlighted here. I can draw and write to teach my reader about a topic. I can write letters and match the sounds I hear in words. I can use capitals and punctuation. In first grade, our students are currently engaged in a unit about animals. They're learning about animals as a whole and all animals, but we're also doing a deep dive into bees at a class level, so every class is studying bees. And then the students themselves are picking an animal of interest to them to research in more depth. Some vocabulary they're learning along the way includes, but of course is not limited to, habitat, life cycle, predator, prey, pollination, and research, because research is a big part of this unit. In grammar, they're learning about verbs. They're learning how to use commas for words in a series. They're learning how to use capitals for dates, names, and the first words of sentences. And a few of the teaching points. I can ask questions when I read nonfiction. I can retell what I learned. I can do research and teach others about my animal. And I can read and fix up my writing.
This year, our third grade team integrated foundations into their daily schedule, expanding on a program already in place at all grade levels at Theodore Roosevelt to now include third grade at Vernon. For those unfamiliar, Foundations is a phonics-based literacy program that provides systematic multisensory instruction in phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, handwriting, and spelling, all essential skills for building a strong foundation in reading and writing. Additionally, it helps students develop critical encoding and decoding skills to further support their literacy growth. This is something new that's been in place at Vernon, that has been put in place at Vernon this year. To further support our 4th through 6th grade students who struggle with decoding and spelling but do not require intensive intervention, we are recently implementing Just Words. This program delivers explicit instruction in phonemic awareness, phonics, word study, and spelling, following the science of reading principles. These initiatives ensure that all students receive the structured literacy support they need to become confident, capable readers and writers. And we're very happy with the progress the third grade has been making thus far using Foundations.
We wanted to share some data with you. Now, of course, we don't have the data reflecting this year so far because our students are currently engaged, finishing up on February 13th on our middle of the year assessments. But I do have a comparison here that shows the impact of some of our work from last year and also shows why this year's work is important. So this is the results of our iReady exam, which is just one of the many assessments that we give. If you take a look at it, there are 3 colors. The red represents students who are functioning below grade level. So for example, for a 2nd grader, that would mean someone who has not yet mastered the skills required for 1st grade. The yellow, since this was September, represents where a student would typically be, because a student who is in yellow has mastered the curriculum of the year before, but has not yet mastered this year's current curriculum. And the green represents mastery towards this year's curriculum. So we can see here from this that when you compare the fall 2023 group to the fall 2024 group, that we have decreased the number of students in red from 16% to 12%. Even more exciting, on the high end, we have had an increase of students in the green from 23% to 33%. And what's interesting too is when you do a deep dive into the data itself, we also see where some of the areas of relative strength and weakness are. After all the effort we put in last year to bringing in the Hegarty Phonemic Awareness Program, I am delighted to say that one very strong area for us was our students' phonemic awareness. So the work we're doing is paying off. In addition, it's spotlighted for us that our choice to go with Literacy Matters and the work we're doing for them is a good thing, because our weakest area, and it wasn't overwhelmingly weak, but relatively weak area, was the area of informational reading comprehension. And when you think what kids need for informational reading comprehension, they need rich background knowledge and vocabulary. And our work with Literacy Matters is targeted exactly at that.
So we chose to look at our 6th grade math data over the past 2 years at Vernon, and we chose to focus on 6th grade because of a key shift in their daily schedule. Last year, students transitioned from longer math blocks to shorter, high-impact lessons, emphasizing quality instruction and targeted small group learning through our Empower period. As you can see over the data, we are excited to share significant growth in student achievement. The percentages of students scoring at a proficient level increased by 13%, with level 4 scores rising by 2% and level 3 scores increasing by 11%. Just as importantly, the percentage of students performing below grade level dropped from 14%. Very similar to the graph that was shown before at TR, we have the level 1 and 2 with orange and red, on grade level is 3, and proficient is level 4, which is the green. These changes have, the changes we made in the schedule have also provided more personalized support, ensuring that all students are building the skills and confidence needed for long-term success in math.
Another aspect of the board goals in student achievement includes making sure that learning is engaging for the students. And here we see highlighted in these pictures some of our work from last spring and this fall in that area. We have been doing wonderful project-based learning, and that is where students pick a topic to study in depth, the topic of their choice, to choose a type of project to teach other people about their subject. And that project could be a video, it could be a board game, a song, a poster, a model, a diorama, a PowerPoint, whatever they choose. And it's been actually a wonderful collaboration because all the teachers in our school, music, art, English as a new language, all different areas, collaborate with the classroom teachers in helping to tap into the students' different strengths and needs as they work on these projects, and the students enjoy the work tremendously much. There's so many engaging things, but another one I'm going to highlight is the work that our students are doing in coding, robotics, and STEM, particularly under the leadership of Regina Diorio and Brian Agostini. Students in grades K through 2 are learning how to code by building robots and programming those robots to move and sense their environment. In the photos, you see 2nd graders on the far left and kindergartners on the far right for some examples of that work. Students also participate in STEM learning, which includes learning scientific content, but also relating that with engineering challenges. So in the middle, you see a 1st grade project. Our 1st graders had to think about what it would take for a plant seed case to travel to a new island, a new place to land and grow. And so they had to accomplish 2 things. They had to make sure that the seed case would be able to travel far enough to get to the island, but also would be strong enough to protect the seed within it, and they had a tremendously fun time doing that.
We love project-based learning at Vernon, so much that we've been building on our strong foundation and are now shifting our focus toward interdisciplinary collaboration. This approach allows students to make deeper connections across subjects while engaging in hands-on, meaningful experiences. A great example of this shift is our 6th grade Ancient Civilization project, which took a little bit of a revamp last year. We have some pictures on the bottom there. Which now takes a cross-curricular approach. Students integrate modern technology, apply mathematical computations, and explore historical concepts in new and engaging ways. Additionally, this year, our 5th grade team is excited to introduce Market Day. It was a prototype of it was created last year by Ms. Chenisek in her class, and this year they're going to do it grade-wide, where students will work in groups to develop their own goods or services. They will design prototypes, create budgets, calculate overhead costs, and develop marketing strategies, all while honing on their which I need help on, their public speaking skills. This project directly ties into their economics unit on the Western Hemisphere and incorporates key concepts from mathematics, technology, and design. These interdisciplinary projects not only enhance academic learning, but also help students develop critical thinking, collaboration, and real-world problem-solving skills that will benefit them well beyond the classroom. We also have some pictures from the Revolutionary War project from last year. This year, from the fourth grade team, this year they're shifting to the Great Explorers unit that's going to be showcased next month. Fourth grade parents are invited to come in for that. And then we also have the Wax Museum, what we just had this past week, which was so adorable. It's always such a great unit that concludes the biography unit in third grade. Moving on to finance and operations.
Again, we would like to thank the board and the community for the bond, which made such a difference for us to be able to have that extension at Roosevelt. Dr. Yanni spoke earlier, and I just want to echo what a tremendous thing that it's been for us to have the full-day pre-kindergarten program. Having the space to accommodate us allowed us to develop this program. We wrote a whole curriculum for it over the summer. It's fully based in the pre-K standards. It's a beautiful program. The kids are having a fabulous time, and we're glad to have that. The picture in the middle represents that. And the other thing that the extension did for us is it really helped us with all the various small group support services that we offer our learners. So, for example, last year, if you take our stage alone, on our stage, we had occupational therapy on half the stage, physical therapy on the other half of the stage, and then in the 2 storage closets on the side of the stage, we were teaching reading. We were really crammed. Now we have beautiful spaces for that learning to take place. I mean, just look at the left, that's the OT, PT room. Just look how large and beautiful that full-size classroom is. So the bond projects have really enabled us to enhance the students' learning experience.
At Vernon, we are focusing on quality over quantity by ensuring that instruction is purposeful, engaging, and impactful. Our Empower period allows for small group targeted support, helping students strengthen their skills through personalized learning, and gives students a chance to work more closely with their teacher one-on-one or in small groups. This year we are, as I mentioned before, expanding literacy support by rolling out Just Words for grades 3 through 6 and Foundations in grades 3, ensuring a strong foundation into reading and writing. In addition to academics, we are enhancing enrichment opportunities, including drones in the 6th grade, which I'll be talking about in a minute, and an expanded Atlantis experience, providing new challenges and hands-on learning. Our 6th grade Atlantis students just participated in the AMC 8, which they did a couple of weeks ago, and they did a pretty good job considering this is a new opportunity for them. And all of these initiatives are designed to prepare students for middle school and beyond, equipping them with skills, confidence, and curiosity to thrive. So, a new initiative we have this year at Vernon is our STEM integrated drone learning for the 6th graders. This will be providing students with hands-on experiences in math and physics, engineering, and coding. Through programming, flight paths, and navigating obstacle courses, students will strengthen their problem-solving, critical thinking, and teamwork skills. This initiative connects classroom learning to real-world applications, from aerial photography and mapping into geography lessons to environmental monitoring and career exploration in aviation, robotics, and filmmaking. I have a quick video showing Mr. Harrison introducing the drones to his students. Mr. Harrison and Mr. Agostini will be working with our 6th grade students. It's very fun to watch because it's like watching a baby crawl for the first time, because I'm too nervous to touch it though, because I probably will break it. But let's take a look. Some students did get a chance to try flying them. And apologies on the filmmaking. Quick video, but some of the pictures that 2 of the students did get to fly the planes, and they did much better than I would have done. So we're really excited for them to start this new course curriculum at Vernon for the 6th grade. Okay, so the students. Do I have to press the button? Okay, sorry. Well, moving on, we're gonna go next onto the bond projects at Vernon, which we're very, very grateful for the support the board has been giving us there. The students love the newly designed cafeteria and music space, which has quickly become a favorite part of their day. Our new cafeteria's modern design and flexible seating has been compared to Chipotle, creating an inviting cafe experience that the students look forward to. And beyond lunchtime, this versatile space allows us to host workshops, faculty meetings, and special activities. There we are. Such as our food feedback committee, where students share their thoughts on meals and dining experiences. The updated layout also enhances collaboration and community engagement, making it a valuable addition to our school. The seating really is phenomenal and quite comfortable, I must say. So we rotate the comfy seats between classes monthly. Between the 4th through 5th grade gets to rotate monthly, and the first couple of weeks were a little rough, but now everyone knows when they go and they're really excited to get to sit in those booths. I think the booths are more favorable than the round tables for some reason. I thought it'd be the opposite, but it really is a great space and the students really do enjoy it. Moving on to one of the most exciting additions is the new building. Our new building is a state-of-the-art music suite. These brand new spaces provide dedicated areas for ensemble practices and uninterrupted lessons, allowing students to fully immerse themselves in their musical growth. Previously, the students would practice for their ensembles in the cafeteria, and a lot of the time would be dedicated to setting up and breaking down, cutting into the rehearsal time. So it's really great they have their own dedicated space. And with the latest technology enhancements, students have new opportunities to explore, create, and refine their musical skills in innovative ways. This space not only supports their artistic development, but also fosters a deeper appreciation for music within our school community. If you didn't get a chance to check out one of our past concerts, you really should see how amazing they are in the spring. And I was lucky enough, when I went to go sneak a picture, to catch Mr. Casitas' 5th and 6th grade chorus rehearse this song for the first time. I thought it sounded perfect, but apparently it was their very first time performing. So that was the first time they ever did that together. I thought it was great, but apparently I'm a little tone deaf. But anyway, they sounded lovely.
As we wait for the video, I'll just speak to what I believe is the next section. Our next section has to do with the work for the community. So at Roosevelt, there's a few things that we're very proud of. One is that our students are really giving back to giving back to the community in many ways. We have food drives, toy drives, clothing drives. Right now we're creating Valentines for vets. And just last week we had one beautiful highlight when we had members of the Life Enrichment Senior Center came to visit, and they were with one of our 2nd grade classes, and that class performed for them poems that they put to music. They did a performance of that, they sang some songs for them. They played bingo with them, they created a craft, and they enjoyed a snack, and it was just a very nice experience for young and old alike. Another thing that we've put a lot of effort in for the community is making sure that the parents in our community really understand and can support what their children are learning. So some of that is from workshops. We had a workshop this fall, Help Your Child Learn to Read, that focused on how we teach children how to read and how parents can help their children to learn to read at home. We also do a series of curriculum-oriented nights throughout the year. And what we do is we have each grade highlights a different curriculum night. So kindergarten highlighted math, 1st grade will highlight social studies, and 2nd grade highlighted science. In addition, our 2nd grade highlights our English language arts program by a beautiful Reader's Theater performance. And parents visit us for many other things throughout the year, including writing celebrations, iMovies. Miss Vendano's class is having their iMovie celebration tomorrow, and much more.
So we are committed to supporting student success through a variety of initiatives and events. We have our attendance committee and student review teams at Vernon to ensure that every child receives the support they need to thrive academically and socially. We continue to offer engaging school experience such as STEM Night and the Fall Musical, providing students with opportunities to explore their interests beyond the classroom. Additionally, we are excited to introduce a new 5th to 6th grade transition opportunity for the students this year, helping students and families navigate this important step with confidence alongside our established 2nd to 3rd and 6th to 7th grade transition meetings. Through parent workshops and partnerships like LICAB, we are equipping families with valuable resources while reinforcing our commitment to setting the stage for success for all students. We are excited to host a parent information session on the 27th of this month to help further solidify the important homeschool connection. This session will provide valuable insights and resources for families, ensuring we work together to support student success both in the classroom and at home, while at Vernon and beyond. We encourage all parents to attend and engage in this collaborative opportunity to strengthen our school community. The workshop will be held on February 27th at 7 p.m. in the exquisite Vernon cafeteria. Please join us. Clubs at Vernon is a huge success. They also play a crucial role in fostering a sense of community confidence and leadership among our students. Our newly established Ambassadors Club, led by Ms. Crow and Ms. Wyman, is designed to give students across all grade levels an opportunity to take on leadership roles, build Vernon pride, and create a more unified school community. Through this club, students will engage in activities that strengthen their connection with one another while developing essential skills like responsibility, teamwork, and communication. The Ambassador Club empowers students to serve as role models, instilling a sense of ownership and pride in our school. They helped work alongside Ms. Caponia for PS I Love You Day, which is going to be on February 14th, and we have a bunch of fun surprises that the students planned alongside the advisors. I don't want to give anything away, but for arrivals on Friday the 14th, they're going to be hit with a bunch of fun little surprises. But that's a little note of what they do at Ambassadors Club. They also they decided they wanted to make bracelets to raise money for a charity of their choice. So they really are taking an initiative in the school. And furthermore, we're excited to announce the return of our beloved Bulldog Buddies program. I know this is a favorite among the 3rd graders. This is led by the Leaders Club and Ms. Chenesek. It was created last year, and it pairs 6th graders with 3rd graders to support the smooth transition into Vernon. The buddies meet monthly, either during recess or at the end of the day, providing guidance and even helping younger kids pack up for homework. This year, due to such an overwhelming turnout, we've expanded the program into 2 groups, ensuring even more students benefit from this wonderful mentorship opportunity. And the 3rd graders get so excited when the 6th graders come in for indoor recess. It really is very adorable to watch them work together. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I went ahead. That was a better club, sorry. And continuing building Vernon pride this year, we help students, and to help students become more familiar with our amazing staff, every year we host our Behind the Bulldog contest. This fun and engaging activity challenges students' knowledge of Vernon and strengthens their connection to our school community. We also will be hosting Clash of the Colors again this spring, giving everyone a chance to show their school pride in a friendly, spirited competition. These activities are designed to foster a great sense of unity, enthusiasm, and school pride, creating lasting memories for our students and staff alike. Those 2 pictures are at the bottom. We're at the end of our Clash of the Colors contest last year, where we did a rock, paper, scissors showdown. And it's kind of similar to a spelling bee. It was so intense watching a game of rock, paper, scissors. I was running back and forth. It was amazing. So the kids are still practicing now. They come up to Mr. Morrow and I going like this to try and practice. So the bottom is the picture of the winners for each grade, and then those were the championship showdown on the right. It really was, our 6th grader ended up coming from behind. It was really an amazing feat. Further at Vernon, we have student-teacher committees. We believe in giving students a voice and providing opportunities for them to take on leadership roles. Our food feedback committees at both schools, Roosevelt and Vernon, allow students to share their opinions and ideas about school meals, helping to improve the dining experience for everyone. We just had our last meeting this past week, and it's always refreshing to hear the ideas, and they have a lot, and feedback from the students. And in case you were wondering, there is such a thing as the perfect level of cheesiness in every bite of mac and cheese. This they pay close attention to, and they will be sure to let you know their feelings and thoughts. The Student Council, which is pictured below, those are our officers this year, also empowers students to take an active role in shaping school activities, promoting school spirit and representing their peers. Led by Ms. Hauser, they really come up with great activities to help build school unity. And additionally, we have introduced community circles during recess, providing a space for students to work through conflicts, build positive relationships, and foster a supportive, inclusive environment. One of our ENL teachers, Ms. Giapardi, tends to lead these community circles with Mr. Morrow, and we've had good feedback from the students who participate in them. So these student-teacher committees encourage collaboration, responsibility, and a strong sense of community at Vernon. Here are some pictures from other activities that we have throughout the school. One of the highlights, led by the student council, is the ugly sweater contest, the top left, and those were all mostly handmade sweaters. This was also organized by the student council, and we have a winner per grade. It brings festive cheer to the school, and I look forward to it every year. We also had a special visit this year from a TR impersonator who engaged our third graders in a lively debate, sparking curiosity and enthusiasm for history. That's the top right picture. Each year, the middle picture, our 5th and 6th grade chorus participate in the annual trip to the Life Enrichment Center, guided by Mr. Casitas. They engage with the local community in meaningful ways. And recently, 3 of our students, 3 of these ladies right on the bottom left, were invited to perform a traditional Chinese dance at the town of Oyster Bay's Lunar New Year celebration under the direction of Miss Song. They just did this yesterday. And currently, our students are creating Valentines for Vets, just like TR, which will be collected by the town of Oyster Bay along with other community service efforts. These activities are just a few examples of how Vernon students are actively involved in building community connections and giving back. And that's a picture of some. They were around Thanksgiving. They also sent some cards to the Life Enrichment Center. Thank you. Any questions?
Does the board have any questions?
I had one quick question. Does that Literacy Matters curriculum end in 5th grade? And then do we do something different for 6th grade?
No, we're working with them with 6th grade as well, but that's not going to be for a while. So we're currently still following our units of study, and this year Literacy Matters will be working with us for differentiation in all the grade levels at Vernon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to approval of minutes. Motion to approve the meeting minutes as listed and attached below. Do I have a motion? Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now we're moving on to the opportunity for the public to be heard on agenda items in accordance with the Open Meetings Law. School board meetings where school district business will be discussed are open to the public. The Oyster Bay East Norwich Board of Education welcomes public comment at its meetings. The Board of Education will respond to comments and/or inquiries in the appropriate manner. This portion of the meeting is designed exclusively for agenda items. A sign-in book is provided for those residents wishing to address the board. In order to be recognized, you must be signed in. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes. The board president will call you to the microphone in the order in which you have signed in. Public discussion is prohibited regarding matters relating to an individual's reputation, privacy, or right to due process, which in some way could be violated. A second commentary period is provided for non-agenda items prior to adjournment. We thank you for your participation and cooperation. Has anyone signed in? Thank you. Let's move on to approval of instructional personnel items. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education of the Oyster Bay East Norwich Central School District hereby approves the instructional personnel items as listed in their entirety. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's move on to approval of non-instructional personnel items. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education of the Oyster Bay East Norwich Central School District hereby approves the non-instructional personnel items as listed in their entirety. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of special services resolutions. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education of the Oyster Bay East Norwich Central School District hereby approves the special services resolutions as listed in their entirety. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's move on to approval of new business resolutions. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education of the Oyster Bay East Norwich Central School District hereby approves the new business resolutions as listed in their entirety. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's move on to Policy 7410, Intramural and Interscholastic Athletics. I think so our 7th and 8th grade women's basketball teams were combined, and I think we have a policy that states that if there's an elimination of, I don't, actually, what does the policy specifically say?
It talks about only upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools and with the approval of the Board of Education, may any interscholastic intramural team be eliminated.
So I want to discuss this with the board as the 7th and 8th grade, or the 7th grade team was combined with the 8th grade team to create one 7th and 8th grade team, and whether that is something that we thought the policy was to prohibit, or whether that's something that we want to work on the policy and change to allow that, and maybe have a little discussion about what happens in 7th and 8th grade.
I could give you a little bit of feedback about this year. The coach resigned literally 2-3 days before the beginning of the season. So we had a total number of students, about 17, between 8th graders and 7th graders. So based on sort of the philosophy of the middle school, playing time and, you know, the ability for the students to play, we decided that instead of having 2 teams of low enrollment, in coordination with the coach and the athletic director, recommendation was to move forward and combine the 2 teams. No board action was taken, since my understanding was that the team was not eliminated, but the schedule was combined. So I agree with you, Ms. Kowalski, in terms of come up with a sort of a plan moving forward. If it is a last minute either resignation, or if it's in between meetings, I would not recommend to put the students in jeopardy of not playing or stop the season because I don't have a coach. I think maybe some modification of the policy, I think would be, in my opinion, would be a good idea for the students, and to make sure that they would not be penalized by the resigning of a coach or by the enrollment. And I also did a little bit of research about the different schools, and our school for the past 3 years, we have been combining about 50% of the 7th and 8th grade, and other schools we about 32%. So it is an area where combination happens, and in this particular case, I was not thinking about elimination. I was thinking about a combination. So every child that signed up is able to play. So that's the reason why I didn't see as an elimination, but I do understand the concern at this point.
Dr. Yanni, I appreciate that. I just, when you have 2 teams and then you have 1 team, we did eliminate a team, so I think it should have gone through for board approval.
Yes, I do understand that.
I would propose, though, that our policy committee take a look at the policy, that we may want to have some other verbiage in there for when this happens. It should still always be brought to the board's attention, but understanding that sometimes the timing of our meetings could be, it may not work in the timing of our meetings, only because hearing that so many of our 7th, 8th grade middle school teams are combined. So I think the policy committee should maybe take another look at that policy.
Well, the question is, does the board want to be informed when the 7th and 8th grade teams, if he has to combine them? Or do we want to give him the authority to combine the 7th and 8th grade team? Because I think originally the policy was eliminating a JV team, which we were quite upset with, right?
Yeah, that was the baseball team, right?
Right, yeah, because then there are some JV players who may not be able to play on varsity golf, right? And in the 7th and 8th grade, it sounds like all the kids can play. So is that something that we want to distinguish for board approval?
I think so. If we approve a team, I think it would be good to know if that team would not be running. And maybe that would help, if that notice is given, maybe that could help recruit some students to participate so that the team can run and doesn't have to be combined with a different grade.
Okay, so you want to have board approval for even the combination?
I would like to have notice so that we can see if any intervention can be done to keep the team going, if we can recruit new students to join.
Well, the
And-
reason I'm asking so specifically, because if we have to go back to the policy meeting, I just want to understand what you want as far as notice, or do you want actual board meeting and board approval for eliminating a team? So for example, and if a case comes up like this where there's, a coaching issue and they don't have somebody, do we allow them to do that, or how do you want that to work?
It's tricky when a coach resigns. I mean, that's the tricky part of it.
And Mike, the other thing is not just that the coach resigned, but you also have 2 low enrollments, and it is the last minute, so the schedule is dictated by Section 8. So if I would have waited to the meeting, and I understand, if I can go back in the past, I would do a lot of great things. But if I wait between meetings, they would not be allowed to play. So I think we need to have a conversation about the possibility of maybe an emergency meeting, notification, if that's the case, or some kind of language in terms of the middle school. I mean, that here every student played. In the past, some JV students were not able to play at the varsity level because of the skills, because the maturity of students, the physical maturity of each student. So it's kind of difficult when it's in between.
No, understood.
Yeah.
I don't think the policy contemplated
Right.
something like this, so.
And that's, so if we have to go back and rewrite it, just have some input so that we know what you want.
I think for middle school teams, me personally, I would like at least to have some sort of notice, so we're aware ahead of time.
Okay, so just notification to the board?
I could provide that notification on the confidential packet that I will send on the weekend. If it's middle school, if it's JV, and if it's in between, like next season, we're looking at the badminton JV, the numbers are low, so I have plenty of time. So at the next meeting, I will put a resolution and I will notify the board. But if it's in between, then a notification in between without an emergency meeting.
And when numbers are low, is there outreach done within the school to search for kids?
They put the numbers, and obviously the coaches are doing the recruiting. I mean, we had some suggestions that a parent brought up that we will investigate. One of the questions was to use the resource that we didn't use and apply to some kind of training, additional coaching. So we're exploring that suggestion, which I thought it was a great suggestion.
Yeah, it'd be nice to increase the numbers.
And maybe that's also through, some of our coaches offering some open gym time so someone can experience the sport for the first time. I believe that's how our fencing program has grown to where it was, that years ago, Mr. Bruckner would invite anybody to come in and try it, right?
Yes, and that was one of the suggestion. I don't want to take credit for that, but the parent suggested that to do some clinics, and so the idea would be to bring the varsity, let's say the varsity basketball girls to the lower level, and so have that kind of training and also create a continuity development.
Yep.
Okay, so then we'll send this to the policy committee to look at the policy and possibly revise it.
And in the meantime, what I will continue to do is bring it to a resolution, or if it's in between meetings, I will notify the board. If that's okay with the whole board. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let's move on to opportunity for the public to be heard on non-agenda items. Has anyone signed in? Okay, let's move on. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second? Thank you, everyone.